from arthurcundy.com. Welcome to another episode. Today's episode is one that I'm really excited about because it is about automation. I really love automation, using technology to save time and effort and just create an easier, more efficient way of doing things. So for a while, I've been looking for a way to automate image creation, right? So for my social media. So I wanted a way to create a whole bunch of images without having to open up Photoshop or Canva and creating all the images on my own one by one. And I found a really cool way, very easy way to do this. And like all the description, all the resources and links are going to be in the description in the show notes over at arthurcundy.com. And be sure to like, subscribe, comment, share this with others that you think would find this valuable, because it really helps the algorithm. And if you're listening to the podcast, you'll definitely want to come to the website and watch the video so that you have a better idea of what I'm talking about as I'm going through this whole process. All right, so let's get into it.
So how are normal, everyday people like us with regular jobs and families to support, how do we build a business that allows us to control our time and increase our income? That's the question, and this show will give you the answers. My name is Arthur Cundy, and welcome to the Entrepreneur Track. Alright, so here we are. I want to show you guys two websites, and I we'll have the links in the description in the show notes over at arthurcundy.com. And so the first website is called Bannerbear. And Bannerbear is a new service. Not many people know about it yet. And it's basically a way to automate social media visuals, e-commerce banners, and a whole bunch of other types of graphics. So that's Bannerbear. The other website is called Airtable. Airtable is a way, it's kind of like a database, but it's visually displayed as like an Excel spreadsheet or something like that. And so there's lots of different views that you can see here. There's the grid view. You can create like a calendar or a Kanban view or a gallery. And it's just a way to take a database, make it more visual, easier to manipulate and use. And what Bannerbear allows you to do is connect information that you have on Airtable and use it to create images. So before I get into this, let me show you what I wanted to do. So I wanted to create, among other things, but one of the things I'm going to show you is I've created a bunch of quote images. So you'll see here I've got all these different types of quote images here. One day or day one, you decide having multiple streams of income is no longer a luxury, it's a necessity. So I have a bunch of different images that I've created using this method that I'm about to show you, all automatically. So how I did this, to start, I created a few different images, and I've kind of made it very easy, like a very basic way. So what I've done is created background images. So I have two types of quote images. I have the orange ones and then the blue ones, right? So the orange ones are just here. It is just a background image. I put some gray, a border, and my name, right? So that's one type of quote image that I'm going to be using. This is a background. And I've also created a series of images with my photo that's blue and has the same border and my name. And you can see here that I have different versions of different images that I'll use for my quote images. And so let me sign into Bannerbear and let me sign into Airtable. So first I'm going to show you the images, or the quote images that I have so far. So these are personal quotes. So see here that I have the quote that I want in the image. I have the background that I want to use. And these two fields or columns here, these are once you've done the whole process, it'll show imported, that this will be checked off, and it'll give you the banner URL for that image that you created. So for example, let's just click this one here. So here's the image that I created using this method, right? And so you can see I have a few more that I want to create. I have a few other quotes down here. So I have this other tab here for external quotes. So these are quotes that other people have said, not mine. And let's click on this one for Henry Ford. That has already been created. And maybe you've seen this. I've posted this already. And so I've got these two columns here. External quotes, which are the orange ones, and then the personal quotes, which are the blue ones. Right now in Banner Bear, they do give you some templates that you can use. So they have like a square template, landscape one. So you can look and see all the different options that they have. They have some Instagram story ones and so on. And so what I did was I created my own template. So let's see, if you go to projects, I've got a couple of templates here. So here's my orange quote template. All right, so when you create a template, let me quick edit template so you can kind of see here. They give you, let me just minimize this for a second. So they give you different layers that you can add. So you can put first you can name whatever you want the template to be. So I chose orange quote. And I have 3 layers. The author, which is here, the words. Then you have the quote, which is the actual quote. And then the background, which is this background image here. So you can see that's this image here. So I made this the background, that image the background, and you just drop it in, upload the image, and you can do lots of different things. You can put borders, you can put, you can change like the position, the opacity of it. When you use text, again, you can put the name of it, you can put the width, the height, the position, the opacity, what font you want to use, the size, the weight, the kerning, all this different stuff you can do here. So if you know how to manipulate all this, and it's not that hard to learn, you can just play around with it and figure out what looks good for what you're trying to do in your brand, and you would enter all that. And they have lots of help and tutorials on how to use Banner Bear. So if you don't know anything, just go to the help section and you can figure out those answers. So say I want to create a new layer. They have a text layer, you got a rectangle, you can do a circle, you can do an image all these things here. So say I wanted to add a new image layer. I click that, and then it brings up this image layer, and I have a default image, and I can move it around wherever I want. So say I wanted my face there for some reason, I could drop that there, and I can upload this image here. Let me just see if I could find an image to use. Here we go. Let's use that one. Boom. So there's my lovely face. I can position it how I want. I can resize it, and maybe I want it to be somewhere over here like that. And so you can easily do that. And you can rename it and call this headshot, and you can easily do that and save it, and that will be your template. I'm not gonna do that. Let me just remove that. How do you remove that? Okay, here, delete layer. Yes. Okay. Now, once you create your template, they have all these different integrations that you can use. You can have signed URLs where you can generate an image using a URL. You can have crawlers and pull data from public websites. You can create your own form. So you can have a form that maybe you fill out or someone else fills out, and it'll automatically generate an image. You can use Zapier, and they have instructions and for doing all these things. And there's some other things down here that you can look through. But right here, when you first come here, it'll have a view instructions button on how to set up Airtable. But I've already set this up here, so you can see that in your you'll have table settings. So you'll have to define, basically match. So you'll have to match. You'll see I have a quote here, an author here, and then these two columns, right? So you can see here you have author as text, quote as text, and then they have these two fields here imported in Banner URL, and they request that you add these columns to your table, so that it can read the table and generate the image and know where to place the image link. So basically, when you set up the table, you're basically connecting. They'll ask you for a certain code for this table, and that's how it'll connect your Banner Bear account or this template to this specific table. And once it's connected, you'll tell it to use this this quote and this author column for the template that you've created. So once everything is connected, you can also test the connection. You'll click that button, it'll test the connection, and you'll have these check marks. It'll say, oh, this is good, this is good, this is good. They found the column. And if it doesn't match, you'll have like a red X, and then you'll note that you need to fix something or change something. But once you have all green checks, you go back to the integration, and let's see here. So I don't want to do all these yet. So what I'm going to do, here's a little quick tip here. So say, okay, I only want to generate images for these two quotes. What I'm going to do is I'm going to make these all checked so that Banner Bear will ignore all of these. And what it'll do, it'll only find two available to create images for, right? So watch this. I'm just going to click this import button. Now watch how quickly I'm going to create two images. Two records have been imported. View all images. Okay, so less than a minute ago, it's doing its thing, right? Completed, right? So if I click this drop down, there's the image. Here are the two images that I've just created, right? Now, if I go back to Airtable, you'll see that it checked it, that it's imported, and it gave me the URL. And so I can click that. I got the image, and now I can download this and save it to my folder. So I go to here, quote images, boom, and I could do that for the other one as well. Might as well do it right now. So that's how quick and easy it is to generate a ton of images really fast. Right, now let's try this again. Now I'm going to do the blue quote ones. For this one, let me show you the template for this one that I've created. This one's a little bit more in depth than the orange quote one. So how I have it set up, it's two layers. It's just this quote, which is a text layer, and then the background image, right? But I've set this up so that I can change the background image whenever I want. So I've got all of these, like I showed you before. I've got all these background images, and I'm just gonna, let's see, I'm I'm going to create all images for all of these. So I've got, let's see here. Either you work with your head or you work with your back. Which one should I use for this? Let me find which one I want to use. Alright, so I'm going to use this one. This background. Upload. And that might take a while to do all of these. So maybe I just want to do, I'm just going to do 4. So I'm going to do that one. And then I'm going to do, you didn't come this far. Alright, so I'm going to use this one. Alright, so you can see how simple this is here. Use this one. Drop it. Alright, and then one more. If you give up, you will never fail. Okay. Okay, I'm going to use, it's kind of tricky to use one screen here, but bear with me. Okay. Alright, so I'm going to generate 4 images here. I've got my quotes, I've got the backgrounds I want to use, and I'm just going to block these out so that I don't generate images for these yet. Alright, so now I've got 4 images that I'm going to automatically generate. Alright, so this is great because, you know, if you have a ton of, like, you want to create a bunch of social media images, this is a great way to do it. This is the way that I've done it. And but you don't want to maybe hire, you know, someone on Fiverr to do it all the time, or maybe you know, you don't want to spend hours on Canva. You can set this all up, maybe have someone create some custom backgrounds for you that matches your brand, and whenever you need a new image or new quote or something, you just pop this up in here, click import. 4 workers have been imported, and now I've got 4 new images here that are generating right there. Let's go over the live table. They're all there. Now watch this. It's probably going to pop it in as we speak. There it is. Boom. So now I've got 4 images now. And that is pretty much it. So Airtable, Banner Bear, it's a great way to create a ton of images really quickly. Once you have this all this set up, and you can use these for banners, you can use these for social media. There's so many different ways you can do this. I use this. Another way that I use this is to create my YouTube thumbnails. And I do this the same way as I do my personal quotes. So I got my text, I got my my backgrounds, and you know, you can actually, it might be better to show it from here. So let me click here and go to my YouTube ones, my YouTube thumbnails. Let's see, where are all the images? Okay, so here's all the images. So that's from my most recent video. So that's how I generate all these images so quickly. And so this is a great way. Again, I'll put all the links in the description over at arthurcundy.com. If you're listening to the podcast, head over there. If you're on Facebook or somewhere else, definitely click the link and figure out how to use this tool for your business, for everything else that you have going on.
Hey, before you go, if you're looking for a way to earn additional income for your household, I've got something special for you. So I've created this free web class where I'm going to show you how to earn consistent monthly income without creating a product or service or spending a ton of time away from your family. So go to arthurcundy.com/webclass, enter your info, and I'll send it to you right away. And I know this is really going to help you earn some additional income on a monthly basis. So arthurcundy.com/webclass, and I'll see you there.